So when people talk about trust in the context of relationships, usually they mean, can you trust this person to not cheat on you? Are they going to be unfaithful or are they going to do things behind your back? But today I want to talk about a different kind of trust that can be much more important. And especially it can apply to not just relationships, but friendships as well. Not every relationship is romantic, and trust inside of those relationships is extremely important. Now we all know, don't cheat, right? This is not difficult. If you're in a romantic relationship with somebody and you think that they're possibly cheating on you, that is an entirely separate situation. What I'm talking about here are two very specific types of trust and types of lies. Lies of omission, and then the lies to a direct question. I'm going to give you a hypothetical example to let you know what I mean. Let's say me and my brother Gene, me and my buddy, right? Okay. We have been watching this series of movies together. We've seen the first one, we've seen the second one together. It's a whole special thing, right? Opening night, we go to the theater, the whole thing. All right. Here comes the fifth installment, right? And I'm not able to make it to opening night, but we're like, hey, man, we'll wait a couple of weeks. We'll go see this thing together. So what happens? Brother Gene goes and sees the movie without me. Okay. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything. I don't ask, but he hasn't offered up any explanation. He hasn't told me anything. So theoretically, you could call that a lie of omission. That's a little bit strict, but follow me. So a few weeks go by and we finally go see the movie together, right? And I notice during the movie, his reactions to things are not exactly what I was expecting. And there's a few times when it seems like he knows what's coming. So after the movie, we're driving home and said, brother, let me ask you a question. I said, I kind of got the feeling watching this movie with you that you'd already seen it. Now, there's two types of friends. There's the friend that's going to be straight with you, be like, yeah, I saw it without you. And then there's the friend that's going to lie and be like, no, I didn't, man. I don't know what you're talking about. And that's where things get difficult because I'm presenting evidence that I have a feeling I kind of got an idea that you might have done this thing, but because he would think that I'm going to be upset about it or disappointed, he will lie to the direct question. So that's what I mean when I say there's lies of omission. When, hey, look, this certain thing that happened will kind of hurt somebody's feeling. No harm, no foul. Maybe I'm just going to not tell them this happened. Now, I don't recommend this in romantic relationships. I don't really feel like that's a good idea. Although on occasion, sometimes you get stuck between a rock and a hard place. But with your friendships, it's a little bit of a different story, right? There's no real reason for him to come out and tell me up front, hey, man, I saw this movie without you. Now, he could, right? Now, my real brother Gene would definitely just tell me up front, right? But the point that I'm trying to make is who do you trust? Who in your life do you trust that when you ask that direct question, that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that they are going to tell you the truth, even if they think that the truth is going to upset you or make you angry or hurt your feelings? Because those are two different types of relationships. There's one type, and then there's the type that I know this person has my back. I know that no matter if I come to them and I say, hey, look, eye contact, right? This is important to me. You know that this is important to me. Just tell me the truth. Who do you trust under any circumstances to tell you the truth, regardless of whether or not they think you're going to get upset? Now, a couple of things that happen within that, and especially in the context of romantic relationships, you will hear, well, obviously, I didn't want you to get upset, so I didn't want to tell you, which defeats the purpose of trust because anybody can tell the truth when the other person is not going to be disappointed. The true test lies is when they're asking you a direct question and you know, oh, they're not going to like this answer. They're not going to like this answer. And you tell them the truth anyway. especially as in the example I presented. If you have some, you don't have proof, but you were kind of laughing a little bit too soon there, Brother Gene. Are you sure? Like Brother Gene in that example, he knows he got caught, right? He knows he's busted. He knows in his head, he's like, yeah, I did kind of laugh a little bit early because I saw the movie. So who can you trust under those circumstances to tell you the truth no matter what? Now, there's a couple of nuances here, a couple of things that you will find that also happen. They may say, well, I can't tell you the truth because then you're going to be upset at me and then you're not going to let me do A, B, and C. And what you'll normally find is that what you have to explain to people is that I'm not upset over what you did. I'm upset that you lied to me about it. Because how many times when they're caught in the line, it finally comes out, and then you get upset, and then they're like, see, I told you I couldn't tell you the truth because I knew that you were going to be upset. And you have to explain, don't get yourself caught in that situation. Make sure that you're explaining, hey, look, I'm not all that upset over what you did. I'm upset that you lied to me about it because I expressed how important it was to me. These are the questions that you need to ask yourself when you're laying out your relationships and determining who you're going to be intimate with or who you're going to have that great friendship with and who you're not. Now, all of us have always, at some point or another been put in the position where it's like, oh God, if he finds out, if she finds out, it's not really going to work out too well. It's a test of your character because you need to treat people the way that you want to be treated. Now, some people I've known personally would be like, well, you know what? If no harm, no foul. If I had one person tell me that she said if her spouse cheated on her and she never found out about it, no harm done, no harm, no foul. Now, somebody with that kind of loose morality is usually just covering for themselves in something that they're taking part of. But that was today's question. Let me know in the comments what if there's somebody, if you know exactly off the top of your head, it's like I know this person no matter what will tell me the truth. Now, of course, when you are in friendships, not everybody's going to be perfect, right? Nobody is perfect, I should say. And so you're not always just going to end a friendship because they might tell you a fib here or a fib there. Now, what I recommend inside of relationships, especially the beginning of relationships, is to just have some minor tests. Ask them some questions, very minor things, nothing you're going to be upset about, but very minor things that you already know the answer to, and see how they respond. See if you get 100% the truth. See if you get that lie of omission where you know what really went down and they only give you the parts that they think won't get you upset. And as you're learning about this person, especially maybe it's a coworker, it's somebody, it's a family member, you can end a relationship, but sometimes with friendships and other relationships, it's difficult to end things. Learn their tendencies, learn their body language, test them over and over again so that you can watch them and you keep an eye on when they lie, this is what they do. Or when they lie, they say these extra things. You'd be surprised how much that you can pick up from somebody in terms of they will repeat the patterns. Everybody has a tell, and they will repeat the patterns when they're lying to you. And at least that way, you'll have a little bit more confidence in what they're telling you, other than, you don't want to have to go hunting things down behind people's back. That's no fun because a lot of times you actually find what you were looking for, and then that's a whole nother mess. So let me know in the comments, do you have somebody that you know 100% without a doubt, even if what they did is going to get you upset, mad, angry, whatever adjective you want to use, you know that if you look them in the eye and say, hey, did this happen? I kind of have a feeling this happened, and here's why I think that way. Who do you know that's just going to flat out tell you the truth?